Sometimes it only takes a single flaw for a weapon to be terrible. Hey guys, Darcy here, and welcome back to Bad Weapons of Enlisted. For this video, we're going to be talking about the MP28. Available in multiple campaigns, and really it has one main problem with it. I'll be talking about that problem a little later. Now, for the purpose of this video, since there are actually two versions of the MP28, I'm going to be talking about the one in Moscow and Stalingrad, and I believe in Tunisia as well. I will not be including the one in the Pacific for one reason, and I'll be talking about that reason in a little bit. Anyways, let's start off, as always, with a history on the weapon, and then let us continue. First, as always, a little bit of history on the weapon. It was essentially, it was an improvement over the MP18, which was used in World War One. It was, of course, introduced in 1928, hence the name MP28. I know, shocker there. It was mostly used, however, by the Gestapo, the SS, more rear line units, police troops, because most of the German military were using the MP34 and the MP35, and later MP38 and MP40s, which were, of course, much more modern than the MP28. However, it was also used by most of the Eastern European countries, and even the Polish militias and Polish resistance troops used these in small numbers due to, the fact that they just used whatever they could find. Obviously, of course, there was multiple different versions of the weapon in different calibers, from 9x19 Luger, the 7.65 Mauser, 7.63 Mauser, I meant, not 7.65 Mauser, that was 7.65 Luger, and even one in 45 ACP. Ironic, I know. Despite this, how does it perform in game? The MP28 is unlocked in 4 campaigns, with the 20-round version being unlocked in Moscow, Tunisia, and Stalingrad as the starting squad upgrade. The second version of the MP28 is actually unlocked in the Pacific at level 15, so around the middle of the campaign. Now, like I said initially, I'm only going to be talking about the Moscow, the Tunisia, and the Stalingrad version of the weapon, not the Pacific version of the weapon. So, we'll talk about the base stats right now. It has 20 round magazines with 120 in reserve, so 6 extra magazines. A hit power of 5.7 with these stats, so a max damage of about 2.5, meaning around a 4 to 5 shot kill at pretty much all ranges, and close range to be a 2-shot kill. A rate of fire of 480 with a muzzle velocity of 400 a second. A reload time of 2.4, which is quite quick. A vertical recoil of 30 with a horizontal of 14. Of course, 20-round magazine, like I said, and it can only fire in fully auto modes. With the level 2 upgrade, it reduces the reload time from 2.4 to 2.2. The rate of fire gets increased from 480 to 550, with the recoil being reduced from 30 to 27 and 13. And of course, the hit power will be increased from 5.7 to 6.8, with the weapon's shot deviation being reduced by 15%. So, overall, it kind of seems very average. So, why is it on the worst list? Well, the reason I'm putting this as a bad weapon of Enlisted is just one problem: the magazine size. And that is the only reason why I haven't put the Pacific version on here. The Pacific version of this weapon actually comes with a 50-round magazine. And that is important because the 50-round magazine allows it to keep firing. And it's really important as well because of what you're up against when you have the MP28 against, you'll be against the Sten and the PPD, both of which have better magazines. Now, the PPD obviously only has a 5-round magazine, but to make up for this, the PPD also fires a lot faster, so you'll be outgunned. And the Sten is around similar stats, but has 12 more bullets, so someone using the Sten will be reloading a lot less than if you're using the MP28. As a result, most people usually try and get off the MP28 as quickly as possible, opting for something like the MP40 or the Beretta M1 in Tunisia. So, that being said, is this weapon, completely unusable? No. In fact, I would say out of all the weapons that I've used, this is the closest to being usable and even being average at best. Again, the Pacific version proves this. The Pacific version of this weapon is actually really good and is one of the best weapons in the campaign because of its 50-round magazine. If this had a 32 round or even a 50-round magazine, I would say this weapon would be, the MP28 in the other campaigns would be a lot better than it is currently. That being said, it's still it's not a bad weapon, but I just think the problem with it is the magazine really lets it down. It's kind of like the MP34 in a way, as the MP34 is really good, but the reason the MP34 is really good and even viable in the late game is because it has a good magazine. If this thing had a 32-round magazine, I would say this would probably be one of the better starting SMGs, but because it's got the 20-round magazine and you'd spend more time reloading the weapon rather than firing it, it's pretty much in my opinion, it's one of the weaker of the starting SMGs. I need to redo that starting SMG video because that will pretty much require a lot of retooling around because of the new SMGs of the Pacific. But yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as other starting SMGs. I mean, you've got the PPDs in Stalingrad and Moscow, which both are better than this, and you have the Sten, which is a much better weapon than the MP28. Anyways, I'm just going to end this video here. There's not really much to say about this weapon. It's just the magazine lets it down. Again, if this was a 32-round magazine, I wouldn't have to make this video. I know I'm harping on about the magazine size, but the weapon is actually pretty good. It's actually a fine, I would say 6, 7 out of 10 weapon, but the magazine drops it significantly. Yeah, I generally can't say anything else about it. It's just a generic magazine. It's just generic, and the magazine size really lets it down. Anyways, I'm just going to end this video here. That's it. I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts about the MP28 in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.